Hello, it is the Worst of the Riot podcast. Hudson back from vacation. Isaia here as well. Nikki's not.
Nikki's not here.
She will be back tomorrow for the next show.
For what is the fourth day in a row now, people are just not showing up. So Hudson was gone. Nikki's gone. It was planned, yes. But it was funny. I don't know if you listened to one of the, I think it was the Thursday podcast. But I opened up the podcast. I was like, it is the Riot podcast, whatever. I was like, how does Hudson do this? I was like, how does he even open up the podcast?
Yes.
And Nikki was like, something like that. I was like, okay, we'll continue now.
This part, because it's not on the actual show, the standards are even lower for what it should sound like. It's a podcast. Literally everybody has a podcast, no matter how much expertise in broadcasting.
No matter who you are.
No matter how much expertise in entertainment, media, you're just allowed to have this. So that means you can do whatever you want.
No expectations.
Compared to other podcasts, it will still sound more professional than at least some. So that's what we're shooting for. At least we're not the worst.
Well, today we kind of went off of the idea of people not showing up for work, and there's reasons that people don't like going to work.
Yeah.
Because it's just not fun.
There's a lot of good reasons people don't like going to work.
But apparently, females more likely than men are not liking work right now.
What do you attribute that to?
I don't know. I mean, you mean like people not liking work, or females not liking work,
disliking it more than men?
I don't know. I feel like females are more open to saying that they hate it. I feel like sometimes guys try to tough it out, and they're like, "No, I like going to work for my 9 to 5 job, whatever." And
I love
and
standing
the girls
out
are like,
in the hot sun and you know, pounding on steel beams.
It's my passion, you know. I like doing it.
Actual workers do when they do actual work, unlike us.
Yeah, exactly. where they aren't sitting here talking into a microphone.
This will really burn you out, guys.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm pretty burnt out. We finished the show. You know, I'm tired. I had to talk for 3 hours. It's just tough. It's not easy to do. We talked about that. We also talked about one thing I just think me and Hudson will just never be able to agree on.
What's that?
And that's just pizza. We'll just never.
Well, we agree that we like pizza.
We both like pizza, yes.
But we have way different standards for what pizza should be.
What people would say taste, you know. We have different tastes in pizza. I like a more elegant pizza, you know.
Elegant pizza? No.
I like a pizza that maybe makes a little bit more, you know, make a little more logistical sense.
You like a utilitarian pizza.
I like a
pizza that just gets the job done no matter how it tastes.
I like a pizza that after I get done eating it, I'm like, you know what? That's just about what I deserved. That right there. That's just a middle of the road, exactly what I deserve, nothing more, nothing less.
Isaia, I feel like we should know this from your dating kind of standards. You should demand better for yourself.
No. Listen.
Like you have such high standards on first dates. You should have higher standards, the equally high standards for your pizza.
But are you not surprised that I said this? Because I don't know if you remember the dating thing, but I said there's no appetizers on a first date because it's too much money going to the first date. And so my pizza is the same way. It's just a pizza. I don't need to get spend all this extra money on just this nice little pizza that's going to do the job no matter what.
You can be boiled down to one thing and one thing only, is you don't want to spend money.
No, I'd prefer to save it if I'm going to enjoy something the same.
Save it for what? To what end?
I don't know.
Save your money on the appetizers you're not going to buy for your date and spend it on a nice pizza for yourself instead of eating Tombstone.
I don't need it. I need the Tombstone, a little sneak peek. I really, really like Tombstone pizzas. I like Jack's pizzas, and Hudson doesn't agree, apparently. No. He isn't such a fan of some of those pizzas.
I don't have a high bar, I don't think, when it comes to food and pizza in general, but it's higher than Tombstone.
If you like Tombstone pizzas and you're like, yes, I love Tombstone, I love Jack's, make sure you text in just so we can show Hudson that there is a whole audience of people out here that just love Tombstone pizzas.
Yeah, I don't want to hear from them.
Yeah, there's a great audience,
there's too many. If you hate Tombstone and you know that it's not worth,
keep your mouth
it's
shut.
not worth the cardboard it's printed on.
You keep your mouth shut. If you know what's good for you.
RadioU. All right, you know, well, Nikki's going to be back tomorrow. We'll ask her how she feels about Tombstone.
Yeah.
And we will have a good time.
Our next food fight, maybe. Maybe possibly our next food fight will be a Tombstone.
It better not be. I'll already give it a preemptive thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
All right, well, enjoy the podcast, y'all, and we'll catch you next time.
Goodbye.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
with Halloween on the way, it is basically a month from now. And barring any changes, the CDC, Center for Disease Control, says that it's safe to go trick-or-treating again.
See, now, from this article, I am confused just from reading the headline. If I just read the headline, didn't read anything else, it just says trick-or-treating outdoors, absolutely safe.
Okay.
That seems...
Where else would you trick-or-treat?
I mean, I don't know where else you would trick-or-treat, but can they say absolutely? Is that even a thing?
That's very emphatic, isn't it?
It is. It's kind of interesting that they said limit crowds. The good news for Sweet Tooth kids came with a warning: limit crowds, but it's completely safe though. Just limit crowds.
The kids, yes. So that's not really absolutely safe. That is only in certain circumstances where there isn't a large crowd. But with trick or treating, it's probably best if you just keep it to a smaller group.
Yeah.
So you don't have to fight out. I think you roll up to a door at somebody's house, they're handing out candy, and you've got like 8 kids. That's
too many no matter what year it is.
Yes, that's right. Because the candy giver is going to give you less candy if it's a bigger group.
Oh,
you
yeah.
pull up with like 2-3 kids. You got a core right there. The core guys. You're gonna get more candy. Yeah, because they're gonna spread it out more evenly.
The best thing to do is just take your kids solo. If you can just roll up with one, just your kid alone, then the person giving out the candy is like, oh my gosh, look at this little dude all by himself. It's just his mom and dad, way more candy.
And then mom and dad get candy too.
Mom and dad get more candy.
That's
Obviously,
for sure.
they're not going to eat it all. Hopefully.
Do you think some people have kids just so they can go trick-or-treating?
I mean, I think what parents do is they have their kid go trick-or-treating and then they limit the amount of candy they're allowed to eat so that they can eat the candy themselves.
Yeah, that's wise on a parenting perspective in multiple ways. But as a child, if you're going out and you're trick-or-treating, you're not even thinking about crowds, though.
No.
You know what I mean?
You're just thinking about the sweet candy, baby. You're not worried about that.
You do not care what Rochelle, the director of the CDC, you don't care what she says.
Whatever her name is, we don't care. We don't care about what she says anyway.
So, but I guess it's all like, it's kind of up to your parents if you are going to go out and trick or treat. So hopefully most parents this year will be saying it's safe. I remember last year, everybody seemed to treat it as safe.
Yeah.
And, well, we didn't have a vaccine really back then.
I'm trying to remember even what Halloween was last year. That feels like so long ago. I'm trying to remember. Was there Halloween? Did people go out and trick or treat?
Last year I would argue Halloween might have even been better last year because instead of having to go up to the doors and ring doorbells, almost everybody in my neighborhood, everybody was out in their driveway. If you were giving away candy, you had a table set up, people had music going, people had bonfires and all this stuff. And so on trick or treat night, then you would, everybody was just, you knew you didn't have, there was no trick or treat. It was just, you get the treats. You go to the houses with the tables. You go to the houses that
it's very straightforward.
Yeah, there's no, because you know what we hate to do in 2021? Is ring doorbells.
I bet say knock on a door.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do that.
And if you're inside the house and you're not like sitting out on your patio to give people like the treats or whatever, give them candy, you're the worst.
Yeah.
If you're inside the house and I have to ring the doorbell just to see, maybe you have candy, maybe you don't. But if you're not outside giving it, it's so intimidating.
It is. And then like the door, it's like.
Yeah. And one little kid wants to knock on a door, like a little 7-8-year-old is not going to want to knock on a door, have you open it just for you to say, oh yeah, I actually don't have any candy,
Yeah, nobody wants that. So you either you set up the table outside or you pull an even better move. Just leave the bowl out there.
No.
You don't even have to be involved.
If you leave the bowl out there, you're just asking for trouble. One kid's going to take the whole thing. That's what happens every time.
But that's not your problem.
But listen, it ruins it for all the other kids because little greedy kid that's by himself is going to go up there and just dump the whole bowl in his backpack.
If you can make Halloween better for just one child by leaving out an entire bowl of Twix.
I'm not giving, no chance. I don't want that greedy little son of a gun to get the whole thing. No chance.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Isaiah, are you feeling burned out?
Burned out is a specific term. I would say I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling like I'd like to be in my bed at home. I feel like I like to maybe be relaxing right now, sleeping. But burned out, I don't know. I feel like that kind of just wraps up everything I'm feeling.
So you are feeling burned out?
I don't know if I'd say burnt out, but I am just exhausted, yes.
I think everybody's feeling that way.
I mean, if you go to work and you don't feel burned out, then I don't know.
You must not be working hard
I'm about to say, what are you doing? You must get to sleep in every day. You must not work for very many hours.
Yeah, well, I don't know if burned out, I guess it could have it's a vague term. It could have different definitions to different people, but I think a lot of people are feeling burned out. In fact, I don't think I know, because now in a recent study, a recent survey, 42% of women and 35% of men said they are burned out from work in 2021.
I feel like that's pretty low, to be honest, because everybody I talk to complains about their job. They're like, man, I don't want to go to work tomorrow. I've never heard someone who's like, I can't wait to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right.
I've never heard someone say that. So this has to be low. In my mind, this is low percentages. Maybe some people try to make it out like they like their job more than they do. But whenever I talk to somebody, they're like, oh man, Monday tomorrow, going to work. I can't not do that.
Even if you like going to your job, which I do, like RadioU,
Me too.
it's a fun place to work, but it doesn't mean it doesn't burn you out.
Yeah, exactly. I like coming to work and I like what I do, but I would also like it more if I was laying in bed.
I would like it more if I had to do it less.
Yes. If I only had to come in once a week, I would never complain.
I always think the tough thing about working somewhere you like is that I hate feeling obligated to do something.
Yeah.
So there's no.
I hate having like a job where I have to do things every day.
Somebody else tells me what to do. I just want to work on my own terms, which is not at all probably.
No.
So,
if I was in charge of myself, I wouldn't have nearly as much things to do every day. I would give myself so few tasks.
Yes, that's right.
I'd be like, well, I got that one thing done. I feel like that was a pretty productive day.
I would pay myself a whole lot to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Those few tasks, they require
They're valuable.
A lot of compensation.
It's valuable work. Whenever I do a singular task, that should be worth more.
You should be happy I'm doing anything.
Exactly.
Is what I say to myself.
I would have 1 or 2 tasks a day. I would get those done quick. It'd be like a good 30, 40-minute thing, and then I would just lay back down on the couch.
Yes, and get back to watching football or sleeping.
I'd always work from home. I'd be mandated to work from home. Everything would be remote. Everything would be remote.
Yeah.
I would have to do it from the couch.
I mean, you would have the option to come into work if you wanted to see other people, but you wouldn't have to.
Then I wouldn't. I would not.
Because you could just sit. Everything you do at work, you can do from home.
Exactly.
You got a computer there.
Get a microphone. I could talk from there. It'd be perfect.
Well, maybe it sounds like we might be feeling a little burned out, but this recent survey, it says that. So we said 42% of women, 35% of men said they're burned out from work in 2021 compared to last year, where it was actually the numbers were much lower. Women in 2020,
How?
Maybe because everybody was working from home.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
If you go back to 2019, I don't know. I don't have the numbers, but you think it would be way higher?
I think it'd be way higher because now everybody's had this long break. Actually, I don't know because everybody got so used to working from home that now that they're back in the office, they're like, man, I do not want to go back in the office. But before, in 2019, they didn't even know working from home.
Yeah,
that wasn't even an option.
I think
you had to come in. Now everybody's like, why would I even come in? Because I can easily do this from home. I did this for a full year from home. Why would I have to come into the office now? And my roommate works from home one week and then in the office the other week.
Yeah, which week is he happier?
Right. Oh, yeah. Big question. This week he's in the office, and I've heard about it almost once an hour. Man, dude, I can't believe I'm in the office this week. My boss didn't even show up this week in the office. So why am I in the office? Why can't I work from home?
Yeah.
And so, all I hear about is I'm in the office this week.
This is The Riot. RadioU.
Look, we just talked about a survey. It says in 2021, 42% of women and 35% of men say they are burned out because of their work, because of their career. And that number has gone up since 2020 for both women and men. So I want to see what you think about this, Isaiah. I think, especially as you grow up, go through high school and into college, there's a lot of pressure on you need to pick your career by the time you're done high school. so that you can go into college to focus on your career. And then as soon as you're done college, or even before you're done college, you need to be already diving into your career because it's so important. There's a lot of pressure on you to know what you want to do for work and for your work to be something really cool and important and something that fulfills you and whatever. And all of a sudden, I think you can wind up you could be in your mid-20s and you're already, it's like, if you haven't gotten into a career you really love, it's like, I'm wasting my life.
Yeah. Literally, I'm pretty fresh out of college, and it felt like I had to get. I knew I was going to school for broadcasting, all that, but it felt like I needed to get into broadcasting like a month after I graduated.
Yep.
Which was like, if I wasn't working like in my field, it just felt like I had been wasting my time.
That's right, because I mean, you're going to live another 60 years, but you have to get started now, or you should have already been started by the time you're in your 20s. On working on your career, because that's what's important. And what we wind up doing, and it's not like you or I or individuals, but it's just kind of, I think, the way society is configured, is that our work is so important, and not just our work, but just there's all these things that we find that are kind of thrust upon us to make our life meaningful. It's finding a career. Starting a family, a few other things that you just have to build up. And if you aren't already started working on those by the time you're out of college, and you're wasting your time, your life is going to wind up being meaningless because you haven't gotten those few important things that you need to define your life. But here's what I want to let you know. That your life is not defined by your work. It's not defined by your family. It's not defined by anything else. You don't have to do any of that stuff. I'm not saying you should just sit at home and absolutely do nothing, play video games or whatever all day long, but you don't have to do any of that to make your life meaningful, because God loves you and God cares about you and looks at your life and says it is good no matter what you have accomplished, no matter what your list of things you've done, what you're working on, no matter what that list is, God looks at your life and says, that's good. You are living a good life where you are. And when you start at that point, when you realize that you don't have to work to make your life meaningful, that it's not a list of tasks you have to accomplish to get your life to have some kind of meaning, it lets you put everything else in that place. And God is going to help you with that. Because again, it's not like you're not supposed to work at all. The world wouldn't work if nobody worked, but God is going to help you put maybe you wouldn't get so burned out on your career if you had it in its right place where it's not defining your whole life. That's what God wants to help you do. Jesus loves you. He cares about you. And again, he says your life is great no matter what you've accomplished. And he's ready to show that to you by talking to you about it. If you want to find out more, start talking to God right now. Say, hey, God, I want to know what you think of my life. How my life is important in your eyes. Start talking to God about that. Let Jesus talk to you. And if you want to know more, check out RadioU.com/free gift.
Welcome to The Riot, where you listen to us and that's it. It's pretty much a one-way street. The Riot. Radio U.
So Isaiah, did you see the story that a restaurant in California, it's called Red Rooster Burgers and Brew, it is banning all customers under the age of 18 unless, this is a big caveat, unless accompanied by a parent or guardian.
See, I did see that story, which is interesting because it's not like it's like a bar or something where you have to be like 18 or 21 or whatever to enter.
It's just a burger place.
It's a literal regular restaurant, and they just don't, it seems like they don't want to put up with children acting or misbehaving in a way that they do not approve of. It described the young customers in question as kiddos. It sounds like even from the top, there's the disrespect to the kids under 18. Not that the people under 18 are bad or that they don't act correctly, but sometimes they can get a little bit out of hand, depending on the age when not watched by a parent or guardian.
Yeah, but so it's talking about kids that aren't with a parent or guardian. So in other words, it's not referring to 6-year-olds that are coming in causing the issues. It's talking about
like 17, 16, yeah.
And they're saying they're kiddos, which is, if you're 16 years old, you know what you don't want to be called?
Kiddo. It's passive aggressive. It is passive aggressive.
I would argue that calling a 16-year-old kiddo worse than anything that these kiddos could have done.
It's like if you called me. It's like if you called me buddy. I hate being called
hate buddy.
I hate being. Oh yeah, come on over here, little buddy. I'm little buddy, come on.
I had a manager at Panera that would call everybody buddy.
Oh man,
all of the employees, the customers.
What?
Buddy.
Come on, is that what you like, buddy?
Lasted about a month.
Oh my gosh.
He didn't get fired because of that, but I don't think that helped.
Yeah, no. If you call me buddy,
that's worse than if you. We also had, or I guess you would have customers that would come in and call like the young female workers, and they'd be like, "Sweetheart." And
oh yeah.
I feel like calling a customer buddy.
Yeah, that's just not professional.
Is worse. Yeah, absolutely worse. So they're banning the kiddos, and yeah, it just feels super. I don't know what does it say what they've done?
Yes, it does. I'm looking at the list. It says including fries being thrown at employees. We've got candy being stuck to the ceilings, condiments being squirted into the wrong bottles and thrown around the premises.
Oh, no.
So there is a little bit of a list of some things.
That's something.
I mean, the condiments being squirted into the wrong bottles.
That's actually pretty hilarious.
That's pretty funny. Obviously, you don't want to be thrown around the premises. Like if you don't want ketchup or mustard anywhere. But if you like had a burger or something and you thought you were about to put ketchup on it and you put mustard on it instead, even though it's in the red bottle. I mean, me as a customer, I would be thoroughly upset.
Yeah, of course.
But also, I think that is pretty funny.
You'd have to laugh.
Oh yeah, for sure.
At that one.
I would go back up and get another burger, but I would think it was funny.
I can't believe that with that like it's so many of these 16, 15, 16, 17 year old, like high school kids. I can't believe that there's that many of them coming in causing issues. It seems like it would probably be like a group of friends.
Yeah, like
and
one
so
group.
You ban the group. Why are you banning all? It just puts you in the news and puts you in a bad light. I don't know why they're doing this.
And like especially if it takes away business as well. Maybe they don't really need their business. But at the same time, I mean, it puts you in the news in a bad light. Makes people not want to go there. But at the same time, if I was an employee and somebody was throwing fries at me, I wouldn't be happy either.
No, yeah, you don't want fries. I mean, there's worse things though.
Yeah, I mean they're not squirting me with the ketchup. I guess
they could call you sweetheart.
Yeah, they could call me buddy. I mean that would make me upset.
Yeah, why don't you get me? Excuse me, sweetheart.
Yeah, hey buddy, can you get me something?
It seems that the ketchup is in the mustard bottle.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we don't want that either.
So they are not allowed anymore. Which I understand. I mean I think it's the same thing you're saying. It's the group. There has to be like one or two groups.
You put their pictures up on the wall. You say, "Do not serve burgers to this person."
They're not allowed.
You get a bouncer.
You get a bouncer. You get a bouncer at the California burger joint, and you just don't worry about it anymore.
I like that you have to. You don't get carded because you're trying to buy alcoholic drinks. You get, hey buddy, you look
buddy,
you look like you might be 17. We only serve burgers to folks over 18.
Do you have a parent or guardian with you? You do not. Unfortunately, you have to leave the premises.
You're gonna have to prove that you are of age to get this burger.
Yeah, no chance. I mean, it makes them look bad, but at the same time, I bet they had to put up with so much crap that they were like, you know what? We're not doing it anymore. We're not doing it. We're over it.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
And Isaiah, I wanted to tell you, I went on for my trip to Connecticut. It was a family vacation, as in to visit family, not to do anything that was fun.
My vacation wasn't fun.
No, it wasn't to have a good time. It was, we
it's a business trip.
We enjoyed ourselves, and we did a few fun things. We went to the Big E Fair, which is I didn't know about this, so I'm sure most everybody else doesn't know either, unless you happen to be in the New England area. But the Big E Fair is where all of the New England states come together in Springfield, Massachusetts, and have like a big, massive state fair.
Oh, cool!
And so they each have their own a replica built on the fairgrounds of their state capital, and then in their state capital,
interesting.
In their state capital, you can get like food from specific to those states, and like shop and see some tourist, like
that's very cool.
Some of the things the state is proud of. So that's pretty cool. But so that was like one of the big fun things we did.
Yeah.
Just to give you some background. But one thing I noticed on my trip to New England, what do you think of when you think of New England? When you
the
think
Patriots.
Okay, that's obvious because it's in the name. But you're thinking Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts,
Cold,
Rhode Island.
I don't know.
Really? Cold?
Yeah, cold. I mean,
it was actually quite nice this time of year.
It's cold.
I think it was a little unseasonably. It was breezy, like the ocean breeze.
Yeah, windy.
I think it was a little unseasonably warm. But okay, do you think of seafood?
I'm about to say that's the next thing I was going to say. Is seafood is
you
the
think
next thing.
Seafood, right?
Yeah.
Particularly lobster, right?
Yeah.
And you know what I saw several of on my trip?
Lobsters?
No. Red lobster.
Red lobsters?
I saw a lot, as in the restaurant, red lobster.
Oh, you saw a lot of red lobsters. What?
And it had me questioning. So tell me what you think. Red lobster all over New England. I would think if there was anywhere that there wouldn't be red lobster,
it would be like New England.
Because they've got all the other local places that are probably way better.
Why would you go to Red Lobster? If you're in New England, why would you go to Red Lobster when you can just go to any of the places that are really good? You can go to Red Lobster anywhere and get like their... Not that Red Lobster isn't good. I like Red Lobster.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good.
And they've got really good biscuits.
Yeah. Oh, they have great... Oh, my gosh. The cheddar biscuits. Woo!
Sometimes when I want to go crazy, Isaiah, you know what I do?
Do you get them from Kroger and make them yourself?
Yes,
I've
do.
done that before. I love it.
So maybe that's why Red Lobster is around in New England.
It's the
just
biscuits.
for the biscuits only. But I was trying to think of explanations of one is either Red Lobster is way better than we give it credit for.
Yeah.
Two, the New England seafood scene is not as great as people crack it up to be. It's just like you could get the same experience anywhere. You just go to Red Lobster. Or three, maybe, I think this is the most likely explanation, that people's palates aren't that discerning no matter where you go. The truth is, even if you've had a taste or if you have the option to taste real New England seafood, you're still gonna go to Red Lobster.
Go to what you know. Go to what you know. You go to Red Lobster. You know what you're gonna get. If you go to one of the local
Clam Shack.
But at the same time, if
Captain somethings.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be better. It's just gonna be better. I'm never the type of person that if I go on vacation, I don't like to eat at like the chains. If you go on vacation and eat at the chains, then you might as well have just stayed at home.
Or at least places that you could get at home. Because to be fair, when I went to Tennessee, I went to Bojangles, Zaxby's, Cookout.
Yeah, but it's different. It's different. Yeah, they're chains, but they don't have them where you live.
At home.
Yes.
And I've never had any of them before, so I needed to try. But yeah, you can get Red Lobster anywhere in the country. And I was thinking going to New England, there's not going to be a single Red Lobster in sight. And lo and behold, they're all over the place.
They're all packed.
Yes.
Everybody's got loaded up at Red Lobster.
Red Lobster is happy to hear this. They're like, man, if we can make, I guess they're saying,
if we can make it work in New England,
we can make it anywhere.
Oh yeah,
that was my number one New England observation.
Yeah, if there's Red Lobster in New England and they're making it work there, they can make it work anywhere.
That's for sure.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy dandy fast forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
The way we live our lives, I feel that this could be us one day. With all the food fights we do and all of the food we eat, we could get trapped in a jumpsuit.
Oh my gosh, this is terrible.
It is.
This is worst case scenario.
Now with this woman, the situation is not that she was so large that she got into the jumpsuit and got stuck. That's not the case, but that's what it would be for us.
Yeah.
That we would be busting the zippers and buttons because we just couldn't stop eating Krispy Kreme. With this woman, it's a mom in the UK, and she bought a jumpsuit from, I don't know how to pronounce if it's Zara or Zara. I'm sorry that I'm not up on my women's fashion brands, but Zara. So she buys it and gets home, tries it on. The zipper gets stuck. And so she doesn't know what to do. It's a brand new jumpsuit. She just bought it. So Isaiah, what's your move in this situation? You're stuck in an outfit you just bought.
Oh my gosh.
So you can cut yourself out of it, but then you're taking a complete loss. And
no chance.
I don't know. I doubt Zara, this jumpsuit is worth thousands and thousands, but it's probably in the hundreds of dollars.
I'm going straight back to the store. I'm demanding they cut me out of this thing.
Swallowing your pride?
I'm swallowing my pride. I go straight back to the store. I say, this is a faulty zipper. I've been stuck in this thing for who knows how long. I've been holding a pee for so long. If you get stuck in something, there's no way you're not going to have to go to the bathroom. Like, once I figure out I'm stuck, the first thing I'm going to think is,
how am I going to go?
I have to go to the bathroom. Like, right away, it's going to be the first thing I think.
Excellent point.
Yeah, so I'm going straight back to the store. I'm going to say, get me out of this thing right now. I want my money back plus $20 because I had to pee inside of it.
For the trouble.
Yes, it's going to be terrible. But yeah, that would be awful. It looked like they actually made a good video out of it and stuff, and they thought it was funny. For me, that would be a traumatic experience.
You'd be outraged.
I have a small bladder. It'd be a disaster. I know for a fact I would never make it.
I would be more worried about the other bathroom situation.
Oh,
you know what
no.
I mean? Like, the bladder would be the least of my worries, if you know what I mean.
Oh, my gosh.
Because that's when panic sets in, sometimes that's what my body reacts.
Nervous.
Like, yes.
You're nervous.
I'm stressed, and there's only one thing I can do right now. So you are on the same page as this woman. She and her daughter went back to the Zara store and got them to free her from the professionals to free her from her zipper entrapment. And I'm assuming she probably got her money back or something for that. I don't think I'd be able to swallow my pride on that one.
What? What would you do? You would just say, like, oh, I guess I just spent whatever and it got ruined.
I would cut myself out of it first, especially if I had to go to the bathroom and ask questions about how I could get my money back later.
Well, some people, see, this is the thing that gets me, is people online are just so crazy. One person said they weren't so sympathetic to the mom struggle. How is that Zara's problem? They shouldn't have helped her.
What do you mean?
I bought the thing an hour ago. The zipper broke. Like, if I bought anything, like if I bought a laptop and it broke an hour after I bought it, I'd be pretty upset, wouldn't you? Like, how is that not their problem?
In the laptop.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how is that not their problem? What do you mean? Like, yeah, it broke, and I only had it for an hour.
And you would think, again, I don't know how much Zara costs normally. But it's not like it's cheap. It's not like she bought this at the thrift store.
Yeah.
It wasn't $5. She spent a pretty penny on this, and you expect a high quality zipper situation when you're spending Zara money, Zara zipper, they go hand in hand.
Why pay for so many streaming services that you don't really care about when you can not really care about the Riot for free? RadioU.
Got a warning for you. If you've got a DiGiorno pizza in the freezer, why haven't you made it yet?
Yeah,
you
exactly.
You should have had that yesterday.
You should have already eaten it. You should have already gotten it down.
Unless you bought several all at once and you're, spacing them out.
You got them stocked up, which is how you should do it. You should never buy just one frozen pizza. If you're going to get them, you got to get like 4 or 5 of them.
Well, that's how you get the discounts, too.
Exactly. You get like 4 for 10 or whatever the deal is. It's a little bit less expensive. You just buy them in mass.
Yeah. Hey, do you have a favorite frozen pizza brand?
I have a couple different ones. I really like Tombstone. I like Red Baron.
What?
What are you talking about? Come on. Tombstones are a classic.
You know why they call it Tombstone?
They're a classic.
Because it's like chewing on a brick.
No, listen, they're inexpensive. You can't beat them for like a couple dollars.
You totally can.
I'm never making them before like 10 o'clock p.m. They're never going to be my dinner. It's going to be when I'm sitting there, I'm like, you know what? I need something to eat right before bed. Making a Tombstone. It's a Saturday night. I stayed up a little bit too late. I just finished up a movie, whatever I was doing. I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of hungry. Let's throw my $1 Tombstone. Or, you know, another one that's really good that people are going to hate? Jack's Pizza.
Oh, is that the other one that doesn't even come in a box?
No, but just,
if you don't get a box with the pizza,
no,
you shouldn't be eating it.
It's like $1.50, and it's the greatest deal of all time. If you can get a Jack's Pizza or a Tombstone, I highly recommend, because you won't be able to complain about it because it's so inexpensive. It may not be really all that great, but it'll fill you up, and nobody really cares what anything tastes like at 11 or 12 p.m.
You hate pizza.
I love pizza.
You hate food.
I like Red Baron too. Those are my top 3.
Red Baron, there was a sale on those recently, and they actually surprisingly, you don't get bang for your buck because Red Baron is not very filling.
No,
but it's taste wise not the worst.
No, it's not the worst. It's not the worst. Tombstone Jack's definitely worth the money for sure. It's like $1 for a pizza. You can't beat that.
I'd rather eat $1 than eating a Tombstone pizza.
I love me a Tombstone. That's a classic. Me and my friends, Tombstone's easy. We love them. We love them.
You and your friends, you should pool your money together and get a halfway decent pizza.
But we could all just toss in a quarter and get one. It's perfect. It's literally perfect.
You're the worst. But listen, maybe you can get a real good discount on some DiGiorno, because the reason we're talking about this is there's a recall on DiGiorno, specifically their crispy pan crust pepperoni pizza. You're going to want to get rid of those unless you're okay with, instead of pepperoni, 3 meat, because they were mislabeled. So there's a bunch of DiGiorno pepperoni crispy pan crust pizzas with the best by date of March 2022. And they're actually 3 meat pizzas inside. So you're really getting more bang for your buck. You're getting the pepperoni.
Oh, okay.
I guess you're getting, I don't know what the other 2 meats are. Sausage,
bacon, maybe.
You think bacon?
Ham, maybe ham.
Probably ham. Or sausage and meatball a lot of times is what they'll do.
Yeah.
Salami, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the other meat is, but you know what? I don't care, because it's going to be good either way.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
So they're recalling those, and I just want to know for the ones that are returned. And the reason is, for some people, that could be an allergy concern.
Yeah.
Where if you got the pepperoni, you might have allergies to whatever's in the meatballs or something, where
But you know, like if you open that up.
Yeah, you can tell.
You visibly would be able to see that it's not a pepperoni pizza.
There's a stark difference between pepperoni and the other meats that are usually on a pizza. So you're going to be able to tell. But they are recalling those. Maybe that means that for those of us who like all of the meats, we'll take it.
See, now listen, is this like a deep dish? Is that what this is? It looks like kind of some sort of deep
pan
dish.
crust, yeah.
So my problem with this is, if you're getting like a DiGiorno or a frozen pizza, are you really getting the deep dish? Like, is that what you're getting? You're getting a deep dish?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm not
getting the.
You want a thinner crust, probably.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm doing a frozen pizza, I like deep dish pizza, but I don't think frozen deep dish is really gonna be my move there.
I'm with you on that for sure. But I just can't get over. I was going to tell you my favorite frozen pizza
What's
brand.
yours?
No, it doesn't even matter.
What's yours?
It's too expensive for you.
What is it? Come on.
I always thought in the dynamic between Nikki and I was the everyman and Nikki was the highfalutin, like spend $80 to get something DoorDash to your house.
Then you met me.
And you're even cheaper than I am.
Listen, Tombstone is where it's at. What's your favorite? You got to tell me.
I think that I have 2 that I will go to. If money is no object, Screamin' Sicilian may be the best.
Oh, okay.
That's the one with the mustache.
That just sounds fancy. Screamin' Sicilian, baby.
Yeah.
If you're looking for hot takes on the day's most important news stories, you're in the wrong place. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Isaiah, we were just talking about how DiGiorno has recalled all of their pepperoni pizzas.
Yeah.
The crispy pan crust, because they might have more than just pepperoni on them. And that's not like a euphemism or anything. It just means they might have other meats as well.
Yeah.
But what we were also talking about is Isaiah's favorite. I asked, I didn't say, what is the best bang for your buck frozen pizza? I said, what is your favorite? And
my go-to. I get it every time.
He says, Tombstone.
Well,
he says Tombstone is the best. My favorite. His quote. My favorite.
It is my favorite. I won't even back down on that. It is. It is.
And what I'm seeing in the text is a few people coming to your defense.
Of course they
are. We had one person text in that said, "Any pizza is still pizza, so you can't fault him for
exactly.
You can't fault you for liking Tombstone." I say, Tombstone doesn't qualify as pizza.
What?
That is not pizza.
I've had some bad pizza.
Really?
Now, yeah, I've had some really bad pizza. There's a place. I have a couple places. I don't want to trash. I hate saying places are trash. But one place,
like a chain, or
there's a chain in around where I live that is not good.
Just admit it. Just tell us who it is.
It is not good. And people, I think you might even like this pizza, but I think this is trash. I had a terrible experience like a month ago. Me and my roommate had a free medium pizza from here. All we want is the medium pizza, of course. And they were like, I guess we can give it to you. It wasn't a good service.
Yeah.
And I pull into Romeo's, and this pizza is so bad. It's so
You
terrible.
hated Romeo's.
Yes.
I will, to be fair to Romeo's, and I think this could be true of any pizza place, especially if it's a chain, you go in and if they don't have the right people working or enough people working, you could be in for a bad experience. So you should give Romeo's another shot.
I've had it once. It was good one time, but the last time I got it, I think it's because it was just we only got the free pizza.
Yeah, they probably didn't put a lot of love into you not paying them anything.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not like the workers in there are getting $1 a pizza, you know? Like, you're making pizza all day. Of course we did. Of course we did. And then we opened it up, and it looked like it was cut by like a 4-year-old. Like, there was some pieces were tiny, some were huge.
You're really going to complain about the cut of a pizza.
And listen to this. We ordered a pepperoni. We got a cheese.
Well, maybe that wasn't included in your free pizza deal.
Yeah, apparently we couldn't get pepperoni on it. I don't know. But that was a bad one. But there was a place in Indianapolis where I went to college where I got the worst pizza I've ever had in my life. It was so bad that I literally couldn't even eat it. It was that bad. It was terrible.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
awful. But Tombstone Pizza, it's one of the best. I mean, it is standalone frozen pizzas. It's a great buy. It's super cheap, and when you eat it, you always end up happy. You're always a happy boy.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. People are agreeing with me.
You wind up.
Jen says Tombstone, great pizza for a late night snack, and I can't disagree with that.
You know what's a better pizza for a late night snack? Any other pizza.
No.
Any other pizza in the
If
entire
it's
wide
midnight,
world.
11 o'clock, it's perfectly fine to have a Tombstone Pizza or a Jack's Pizza
No,
or
it's
like a Kroger brand, like a 3-minute microwave pizza.
No, that's wrong. That is so wrong.
You can. There's nothing wrong with that. If you were hungry at midnight and you threw a Tombstone in, I applaud you. You're a smart man. You're a smart woman.
I don't have high standards for food. But what I will draw the line is with pizza, it needs to, first of all, you can't make it in the microwave.
Oh, man.
Unless it's leftovers.
That's fair. Except, I disagree with that because I've had 3-minute microwave pizzas that are incredible.
No, they're not.
They're
incredible.
so good. They're so good.
Your standards are just so low
No.
that you think they're incredible.
No.
You just don't know what real pizza is.
No, listen. If you have like a Jack's Pizza or a Tombstone late at night, it's so good. And then when you whip out, like, if I buy some $12 pizza that I'm gonna stick in the frozen oven or whatever, it's a frozen pizza. I stick it in the oven.
Yeah.
I pull it out. It's never gonna be as good as like my favorite pizza place, which is Donato's. It's never gonna live up to Donato's. So why did I spend $12 on it? Why would I even try to like get some fancy pizza when I can easily get the job done with a Tombstone? Do I even deserve this $12 frozen pizza? I don't know.
If I can't have a good pizza, I might as well just eat garbage. No, is what you're saying.
It's in between. It's a good pizza that's inexpensive. Would I rather have maybe a little bit better pizza for more money? It's never going to live up.
It's never
going to live up. No, it is my favorite.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
When you think of South Korea, I don't know about you, Isaiah, but I kind of think of, it almost seems like a futuristic utopia in some ways.
Now that's, I think, the first time I've ever heard of South Korea ever been talked about as a futuristic utopia.
You don't think so?
I don't know if that's exactly how I would describe it, but
because I always think, I guess my number one, when I think of South Korea, I think of the Gangnam Style video.
That's true, yes.
And I don't know if Utopia maybe comes to mind from that video, but you see
something like that, right?
The big tall buildings, and they all look so like they do look like they're from the future.
Very elegant, yes.
And it doesn't look like a country that we would consider to be behind the times.
That's true.
It seems like it's an almost advanced society in some of the ways that it's portrayed. But
I don't disagree with that.
You might be surprised to find out then that in South Korea, not only is eating dog, as in puppies, canines, it is legal, and they do it to the tune of about 1 million dogs are eaten in South Korea annually.
When you say dogs, do you mean like my dog Jim dogs?
Could be.
What?
Could be. Does that surprise you?
1 million.
I couldn't believe that.
1 million dogs? Think about how many dogs that is.
It's 1 million.
1 million dogs is so many dogs. That's so many dogs.
But the good news is that the South Korean president, his name is Moon Jae-in, and I'm probably mispronouncing that, but he has finally raised the possibility of banning the eating of dogs.
Well, somebody had to take a stand. In every man's life, you got to take a stand at least once.
Yeah.
And
that's what
Moon
he's going to be
Jae,
known
here
for.
you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Apparently, like if you go back several years, eating dog meat in South Korea was much more common, but now people are more and more having them as pets there, and the consumption of dogs has gone down. But nevertheless, that's still 1 million dogs that are eaten annually, and I guess they actually have dog meat farms there.
Farms?
Yeah, isn't that sad to think about?
A dog farm? Oh, man. He said, this is a quote, hasn't the time come to prudently consider prohibition dog meat consumption? Moon told the prime minister, listen, the time hasn't come. The time has come and passed. The time was already, it was years ago was the time.
We don't need to pass judgment on South Korea.
I'm not judging, but at the same time, a dog? Come on.
But some people might say that. In other places, they might say, how can we eat cows? Now, granted, I don't think many people have cows living in their homes.
No.
That they're their livestock and their farm animals, so they might not be considered pets. But still, like, there's probably stuff we eat here that people think, how could you possibly? And so let's just let's have some understanding, I guess, for the culture of South Korea. So all this said, which dog breed do you think would taste the best?
No, get that out of here. Dog breed that would taste the best?
Yeah.
I don't know, a chunky one maybe?
What, like a bulldog?
Thick boy?
A big bulldog?
Something sweet and savory. I don't know. That just, I can't even think about it.
I just think they wouldn't have a lot of meat on them.
I just can't even imagine.
Slender.
When I look at my dog Jim, I can't even look at him and be like, man, I wonder what he would taste like. That
so
just
not
never
Basset
would.
Hound for you.
No,
then.
Basset Hound. I mean,
that'd be too close to home.
My dog smells terrible. He smells horrific.
That's a good point.
He smells like a chicken left in the sun.
Have you ever
like
smelled a pig, a chicken, a cow? They don't smell good either, and we eat them.
You're right. You are right on that one.
I nailed that
Pigs
one,
smell
didn't I?
bad, but when you look at them, it's like, okay, well, there's like good things that come from a pig. When I look at a dog, I'm like, when I look at my dog, I'm like, there's nothing good that could possibly come from that would taste good for me.
I don't know.
For me personally,
so that's not the right breed for you to eat.
No, there's no way I'm eating Basset Hound. There's no chance I'm eating Basset Hound. He eats his own poop half the time, but there's no way I'm gonna be able to eat my dog.
Again, if you think about what the animals that we actually do eat are eating, all of the things you've said about eating dogs could be true about any of the things we eat.
I'm sure they're probably more disgusting than my dog is.
For sure.
But at the same time, I can't do it. I can't even think about it. I can't even imagine it.
You know, it's possible. I've known some people that have pigs as pets. It's possible one day we're going to have so many people that have pigs as house pets that we might not be able to stomach the thought of eating pig. And the president in the United States will raise the idea, don't you think we should prudently consider not eating pigs anymore?
Don't you think it's about time? Time has come?
The time has come. Well,
no.
How about this? Plant-based meat is all the rage now.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday.
What if they made plant-based dog meat?
No chance.
So you didn't have to feel bad.
Listen, I wouldn't even. It
might taste good.
I'm not even. I don't even try plant-based anything. I barely even eat plants. If it's green, I don't even like it.
Yeah, you're the wrong person for that.
Yes.
I am as well, but I don't know. Some things I just think. No, that's not true at all. I was gonna say people wouldn't eat if it didn't taste good. People eat plenty of things that don't taste
exactly.
good. So, I don't have an argument for or against. I guess
none.
The plant-based dog meat idea that I just came up with.
Not a winner.
You've made it all the way to the end of the Worst of the Riot. This show only exists because of support from listeners like you. Find out more and help out at RadioU.com/donate.